Hello everyone! If you're new here, I'm Alan with Earthglow, and this channel is all about sharing the joy of candle making. Now, I know that it is still the heart of winter when I am posting this video, but as candle makers, we are always working a season or two ahead, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 2 fragrances for spring and summer in 2024, so last year. Now, I will say from year to year, my top fragrances sometimes do vary a little bit, but this is what my top ones were last year, and I do find that a lot of people will tend to just keep coming back to these scents. In the last 6 years that I have been in business, these fragrances have been in my collection for at least 3 or 4 of those 6 years, and they have always ranked really, really high for me. Now, another disclaimer that I do want to put out is that these fragrances are all from Candle Science, and this video is in no way sponsored or affiliated with Candle Science. These just happen to be my best-selling fragrance oils, and they do all happen to be from there. However, that is just literal coincidence. There are a number of times when none of my best-selling fragrance oils have been from Candle Science, just because I do tend to purchase from a number of different companies. So coming in my number 2 position, we have my Golden Girls candle, and that candle I have had since I started my business, and it is Candle Science Mango and Coconut Milk. I am here to tell you guys, I don't know what it is about this scent, but it not only does well in candles, but it does well in room and linen sprays, and it also did decently for me in cold processed soap. Now, I have gotten away from making cold processed soap as much just because it didn't sell for me nearly as well as candles did in my business, and I just didn't enjoy making it quite as much as candles. You will still see the occasional soap video on this channel more than likely, but candles are just my bread and butter, and I am obsessed with making them and selling them, and they just overall have done the best for me. But yeah, Golden Girls Mango and Coconut Milk by Candle Science. That fragrance oil, I believe you can also get a very similar one if you shop with Midwest Fragrance Co. I think that they have one that almost is like identical to it, but it sells really well for me both at markets. I've done it for at least 1 full summer at the Kalamazoo Farmers Market, and then I've also had it on the website, and then I've sold it in Instagram live streams. Very, very, very close to the top seller for me personally. Okay, and now for my number 1 fragrance oil. Now, this is hard for me because this is a fragrance that I have considered taking out of my line a number of times just because I am not the biggest fan of this oil. So I tend to be really particular with florals, and florals for me, if they are too much of a heady type of a floral, I'm just not into them personally. And this fragrance to me, it's just not my taste. However, it has done so well for me that I've even kept it in sometimes year round. If you've been paying really close attention to the website, you will have noticed that I made candles in our XL collection in this fragrance, and I just slipped it right into my artisan collection in the XL size as a year-round candle, just because it sells so well for me, not only in the spring and summer, but I've noticed people just kept buying it year-round when I've had it as a year-round candle. And that is Candle Science Honeysuckle Jasmine. Now, I don't know if other companies make this scent or not. I'm sure some of them do, but I haven't found any personally. Leave a comment down below if you know of any other companies that have a good version of this. But this fragrance, I just leave it by itself, and it just throws really well in pretty much every wax I've used. I've made candles with coconut apricot wax, with CB2 wax, with 6006. I mean, pretty much everything. I used to make candles with 464 soy with it as well. I mean, it just throws really good. Now with 464, of course, it fluctuates so much from batch to batch, and I don't personally use that wax by itself anymore. I do still use it in blends, and I'll link some of those videos down below if any of you guys are curious about my love-hate relationship with that wax. But yeah, Honeysuckle Jasmine, number 1 bestseller. And that has been the case for me pretty much, well, I wouldn't say it's been number 1 every year, but it has been in the top 3 for me in my spring and summer collection since I've had my candle line. Now, if you are interested to the exact formulas to all these candles, how I wick them, the vessels that I put them in, all the above and my overall process for making these candles, definitely check out my Patreon, which is linked below. It just costs a few dollars per month and it supports what I do and allows me to keep making these videos. And you also get a number of different perks, including all the formulas that I use for Earthglow, as well as 24/7 support, where you get my response back within 24 hours to your candle making questions on that platform. But anyways, just a little quick plug there for my Patreon. I've absolutely been in love with teaching candle making on that platform, and it's just brought so much joy and a lot more sustainability to this channel. But anyways, yeah, honeysuckle jasmine, my number one. And then I also want to give two honorable mentions in this video. The first of which goes to my Florida Sunshine candle, which is a blend of Candle Science Orange Blossom and Blood Orange. Now, this fragrance, I will say, I tend to not make as much of, so it may sell even more if I made more quantity of it. It has been one of those where it was really niche for me, calling it Florida Sunshine, and I just have tended to only make a very small amount of these candles in relation to the other two that I mentioned. But this candle, it is just your classic orange, and it is a bright, happy type of a citrus. And you have to be really careful if you are new to candle making with citrus fragrances. A lot of the times you get a citrus and it smells really beautiful out of the bottle, but then you put it into a candle and all of a sudden it smells almost like there is a type of fuel burning in your home, and not in a pleasant way. It doesn't smell anything like it does out of the bottle. So that is the case with more citruses than not. However, this particular blend, you don't get that at all with, and it is one of the most beautiful, happy summer candles. And I've also had this one in my line for at least 4 years, and it has consistently performed within the top 5 of my summer collection. All right, and I want to give one more honorable mention to a candle that I have done locally at the Kalamazoo Farmers Markets, and I've even kept it in a little bit at the Kalamazoo Winter Markets when I have done those, and that is our Evening and Celery Flats candle. Now, this one is inspired by celery flats in Kalamazoo, and this one is a blend of 2 different fragrance oils. I wanted to evoke sort of an evening type of a walk on a wildflower trail, and just have that beautiful golden hour air that you get, and just that sun-kissed nature organic beauty of walking down the trails of Celery Flats in Kalamazoo. Now, this one is a blend of Candle Science Gardenia Tuberose and Flaming Candle Amber Romance. And it is the most romantic, but also just happy, earthy, organic type of a scent. This one I have only done with, oh no, that's not true. I did actually do it as, I named it something else, and I sold it as a limited edition with some other wax blends as well. I was gonna say I've only done it with 6006, but that is not true. I've also done this one with, actually, I believe I did it with CB2, as well as tried it out with a my own custom blend. However, I don't currently make them in this custom blend just because it has such a low melt point that it's not suitable for summer shipping, and it also doesn't perform as well as a number of other blends that I've purchased and tried. But I will say that this fragrance oil, it threw really well, and I'll have all the versions again that I've made in my Patreon of these candles. But I will say in the Woodwick with 6006 is how I've had the best luck with this candle, and I've sold the greatest quantity of this candle like that. Honorable mention to Evening and Celery Flats, as well as Florida Sunshine. And yeah, those would have to be my best sellers. And as I mentioned, it does fluctuate a little bit from year to year. And overall though, they would consistently have ranked in the top 5, I would say, in the past 6 years that I have been in business. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you do have some fragrance oils that do really well for you in the spring and summertime, don't forget to leave those in the comments if you are open to sharing. I'm all about community over competition, and I don't feel that by sharing things that work well for me, that it negatively impacts my business whatsoever. I think that it's about supporting other makers and building each other up as a community, and that to me is what matters most. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thumbs up lets me know that you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this. Thumbs down just lets me know that you'd like to see some other type of content. But anyways, I'm sending all of you peace, love, and light, and I'm wishing all of you happy candle making. I would like to take the time to thank my patrons for their incredible support.